So there I was, out on my morning run, finally starting to get the hang of this whole easy running thing, when suddenly I saw something that made me stop in my tracks. It was Bro Banana, and he had tape over his mouth while running. I had to know what was going on.
Bro, you gotta try nasal breathing. It's literally the biggest hack for runners right now. Your nose makes nitric oxide, bro. It opens up your blood vessels, gets more oxygen to your muscles. Science, bro. Plus, it keeps you in the fat-burning zone, improves your recovery, and even makes your brain work better. I read it on Instagains.
Instagain science? That sounded questionable, but also kind of interesting. I needed a second opinion. So I asked Old School Onion, who's been coaching runners since the 1970s.
Nasal breathing, taping your mouth shut? Back in my day, we just ran. Breathe however you need to breathe. Stop overcomplicating everything. I coached World Vegetable Games athletes for 40 years. None of them worried about which hole they breathed through. They just trained hard.
So now I had two completely opposite opinions. Bro Banana saying nasal breathing is everything. Old School Onion saying it's nonsense. Only one way to settle this. The research. I found a 2023 study from Frontiers in Physiology. Researchers had 19 people do 60 minutes of low-intensity cycling, comparing nasal-only breathing to normal breathing. And they found some interesting things. Nasal breathing resulted in lower total ventilation, lower oxygen uptake, and lower blood lactate. So far, Bro Banana is looking pretty good. The researchers concluded that nasal breathing may help maintain physical health in endurance athletes during low-intensity training. But here's the twist. The study also found that nasal breathing did not automatically keep people in the easy zone. Some people still went too hard, even breathing through their nose. Interesting. Then I found a brand new 2025 study with 49 people. They did intense wind gate tests comparing nasal versus mouth breathing. The results? Power output was the same either way. But here's where it gets interesting. Muscle recovery was nearly twice as fast with nasal breathing, 0.45% per second versus 0.23. The researchers found improved blood vessel function too. They said it's because of the nitrite-nitric oxide pathway. So Bro Banana was actually right about that part. I could almost hear him somewhere saying, "I told you so, bro." But wait. Before I went and taped my mouth shut, I found two more studies that changed everything. The Breathwise study from 2025 found that exclusive nasal breathing significantly impairs peak exercise performance, lower peak oxygen uptake, reduced ventilation, and increased breath discomfort. In other words, if you're going hard, nasal-only breathing will hold you back. Your body needs more air than your nose can provide. And another 2025 study tested 4 weeks of breathwork training on recreational runners. The result? Breath hold time improved by 12 seconds, but actual running performance, no improvement at all. Training your nose doesn't make you faster. So I went back to both of them with what I'd learned. The truth is, you're both partially right, and both partially wrong. Bro Banana, you're right that nasal breathing has real benefits. The nitric oxide thing is legit. Recovery is faster, but it's not the magic hack you think it is. Taping your mouth shut during hard runs will actually hurt your performance. And Old School Onion, you're right that we shouldn't overcomplicate things, but dismissing it entirely ignores real science. There are genuine physiological benefits, especially for easy runs and recovery. So here's what I learned. For beginner runners like me, it comes down to this. On easy runs, try nasal breathing. It may help your recovery and has some real health benefits. If you can't breathe through your nose, that's a sign you might be going too hard. But on hard runs or races, breathe however you need to. Your performance will suffer if you force nasal-only breathing during intense efforts. And don't bother with expensive breathwork programs promising to make you faster. The science says they don't improve your running performance. The best breathing strategy, it's the one that lets you keep running consistently. Sometimes that's through your nose, sometimes that's through your mouth, and that's totally okay. See you on the next run.